So a lot of people have been reaching out to me asking me about my input on what's going on in Ukraine and Russia, or at least my interpretation of what is happening, why it's happening, and what's going to happen. And I'm assuming that's because my master's degree is in the history of communist countries. So I'm not going to rehash the events because we all know what's going on and what has been going on. But I would like to tell you about what I think is going to happen, and I guess more importantly, what's not going to happen. Essentially, what I see here is the fall of Russia. This is their last-ditch effort to try and assert themselves as a global superpower and be taken seriously. And it's failing. I mean, how are you going to say that you are a strong military power of the world when you can't even really effectively take on a second or third tier military power who are arming regular civilians to fight against you? I mean, let's be honest. The Ukrainians are fighting very, very well, all things considered. Russia has like 200,000 troops they're devoting to this war right now. And they're not doing so well. So what I see happening is whether Russia ends up taking Ukraine or not, the fact that they have to put in so much effort against someone that was generally assumed by the international community to not necessarily be a very strong power doesn't look very good. So Russia's going to come out of this humiliated, either way. Either it's going to be, man, that was way harder than we thought, and we are one of the top militaries in the world, or it's going to be, man, we didn't even do this right. How could we not, how did we not do this? So unless it results in nuclear war, which I'll get to in a minute, after this, I don't foresee anybody taking Russia seriously, at least until Putin's out of office, maybe considerably longer. Because the only part of this entire thing that was timed right and executed properly was the fact that Putin's doing all of this while Russia is in charge of the UN Security Council and can veto any UN resolutions to stop anything from happening. Now, what I don't think is going to happen is World War III, and there's a number of reasons for that. But first and foremost is the fact that nobody supports Russia. I mean, even in 1939, Germany had allies when they invaded Poland in a very similar fashion. German citizens were on board, their allies were on board, they had support. Russia does not. Russian allies are against this and abstaining from votes that would help Russia, and their people are in the streets protesting against this as well. I've seen reports of Russian soldiers leaving the army and joining Ukraine. So Russia has no support. There's no way that they're going to last very long without any support. That also means it won't be World War III.